Thank you, Dr. Singh. Again, a huge amount in there. That's some of which is happening in the UK, some of which sounds incredibly innovative, and I think it's so interesting to hear you talk about how this situation of the last 12 months, although it has obviously been a catastrophe in many levels, it has opened up these opportunities for creativity and innovation, and how it's important to not let those go. And that's exactly the same for over here as well. And you're right, this idea of entrepreneurship, this is something that I'm finding talking to higher education leaders as well, about the opportunity for higher education to shift away from just delivering information and about creating conditions for invention and for students to invent new things. That seems to be a way in which we can innovate more and change the model that we're using. And so based on your experience of the last 12 months, obviously you've had to cope with a lot of disruption because on all sorts of fronts, but as you say, you've been able to harness some of that. What's the most valuable piece of advice that you would give to people in your position, to other university leaders, to help them navigate some of these changes?
So I think my first advice to education leaders would be what I just mentioned, is that if I'm planning to change something, this is time to go ahead. Don't wait for a minute. The second thing, I'm sure this is happening the world over, but particularly in India, I can mention the renewed focus on self-reliance. The mission called Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar in English means self-reliance. I won't be wrong if I say during the peak of COVID, I think it's the local industry, local products, which we had available, made us survive. Because the entire world had come to a grinding halt. And you believe me, we came across certain brands, certain products and services, which we never saw in our vicinity. And they're absolutely world-class quality. I think this call of the Prime Minister of India is very timely. And it opens up great opportunities for universities, not only like us, but all over the country. In fact, we have about 1,000 universities in our country. The local industry has to be given focus. This does not mean that we don't interact with the rest of the world. In fact, this will make us interact with the world more than ever before. But in what areas will undergo a change? For example, technology transfer will be one of the focus areas. It may not have a movement of human beings so much, movement of physical goods so much, but the softer part, which could be transacted online, which does not require travel. I don't know how many years we'll have travel restrictions. I think the focus will shift, but interaction with the world will be even more than before, and still we focus on self-reliance. The third thing I will advise my colleagues elsewhere is that I was reading a very interesting statistic a couple of years ago, which said that the children who entered school in 2016, who started education, when they graduate and go to the corporate, to the workplace, 65% jobs they will work on do not exist today. There'll be new jobs. And remaining 35% would have changed significantly in terms of skills required, in terms of behavioral skills required. And therefore, the biggest challenge before us is that what should we prepare our students for? I think this is time when we shift from the quantity of knowledge and concepts to learnability as the focus. And this requires significant change in mindset of the faculty members and professors, but also I think the mindset change for the top leadership, because it has to be driven from top. And if they are convinced, they can see that percolates down to the lowest level. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult. We'll always be found wanting in what we deliver when we try to match it with the job skills. The fourth thing which I'll advise them is that here's an opportunity, particularly with initiatives like I mentioned, Self-Reliant India. We can benchmark everything globally. For example, globally best technologies can help us find solutions to very local issues. And therefore, the local community will benefit from the best in the world, as our students will benefit from best of the professors the world over when you look at online education. I think it's going to apply in every walk of life. And then finally, to do all this, I think benefit from all the changes taking place, digital transformation is extremely important. Without waiting a minute, we should go for this.
Dr. Singh, thank you so much. Again, a huge amount in there that we can take away and unpack. But it's great to hear you talk about these things and contextualising them, and like you say, to bring this global crisis into something that can be used meaningfully to help drive innovation and creativity at like you say, at a community and a very local level.